great gifts that mom is going to love.
Dads and kids, listen up. We have some last-minute Mother's Day gift ideas for mom. Stay with us. What's New starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
It is Friday.
Woo.
Again.
Woo.
And hello again, Northeast Ohio. Thanks so much for choosing What's New on this beautiful Friday. I hope you're having a terrific day so far. With Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, happy Friday to you.
Thank you. Happy Friday to you. I keep looking out the windows. I can see straight through to the windows, which actually have curtains over them, but I see shadows. So that means the sun is shining here in downtown Cleveland. But I'm also keeping an eye on the radar because I know to the west there is some rain that is moving in. We have a Tribe game tonight, so we're going to be having a very busy few hours here. But we are going to get started today on some not so great news. It's a letdown in the hiring front. Hiring was much lower than analysts expected in April. In fact, unemployment ticked up to 6.1% last month. That's compared to 6% in March. Thankfully, it's not a big difference, but it's not good news that we're headed in the wrong direction. Our January Keaton joins us now. In January, you spoke with a local economist about how long this trend could last and why it's happening. We're supposed to be improving by this point as everything is opening up.
I know, Betsy.
What's going on?
I don't know, Well, he says, I could tell you, first of all, hiring was a bust, and the number of folks looking for jobs decreased dramatically. Now, I talked to that local economy professor. He's from Case Western, and he says summer numbers should look better. Now, what a letdown April was for payrolls, right? Even though the nation added over 200,000 jobs, the national employment rate rose, and a shortage of workers meant fewer job seekers. Some economists believe the generous benefits package, unemployment insurance, the extended increase, that may give some people incentive to stay home from work or not apply for jobs at all. Case Western economist Daniel Shoag, that's his name, he says that incentive needs to be revamped, particularly for minimum wage earners who may be making more money on unemployment than they do in their regular job.
Maybe rethinking the way we do that unemployment insurance, could be a useful tool to help the numbers pick up over the summer.
Now, some states are considering taking unemployment benefits and repurposing them as sort of a bonus for getting a job. Shoag says as the pandemic winds down, schools, childcare, camps, things like that, they begin to open and the vaccine becomes more widely distributed, the system that we put in place to weather the pandemic should ideally become the same system we use to bring about jobs recovery as opposed to keeping people out of work. Betsy.
It's definitely a good way to think about it. Thank you, January.
Well, Betsy, now on our feet at 5, the end of a political era in Cleveland is on the horizon. Last night, Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson announced he will not seek re-election. That means he'll be leaving his role as mayor at the end of his 4th term. This after spending a record 16 years in that job. And today, 3 News' Russ Mitchell spoke with Jackson one-on-one about his decision. Russ, was this a surprise to you?
Yes, and thank you for calling me Russell. My mom would appreciate it.
I'm trying to be more formal.
I appreciate it, Jason. We had a wide-ranging 35-minute interview with Mayor Jackson this morning, but of course, the topic of the day is the mayor's big announcement yesterday, and that's where we began our discussion. Okay, so you slept on it. Did you change your mind?
No, I haven't changed my mind. No. I slept on it for a long time before I made the announcement, so
yeah.
No, I haven't.
You talked about it last night, how it's time to pass the baton.
Right.
How difficult of a decision was this for you to not run again?
It wasn't that difficult. I mean, it was, to be honest with you, it was more difficult the last time I ran because I also contemplated not running then. I was more hesitant in terms of saying I wasn't running. I just felt that I needed to do one more term.
I know in 2017, and you alluded to it today, that you said that you ran because you did not like the field of candidates
right.
who were in the race at that time. I'm going to guess that there is something you do like the field of candidates running this time. So you can go ahead and tell me right now, who are you endorsing?
What you can guess is that I have decided that my time is up. That's what you can guess.
Okay. Have you picked a candidate?
No, as I said last night when I announced I wasn't running, and the question was asked to me by a citizen, I told them that I was not endorsing at this point. That my recommendation to them was that they evaluate the people and that they look at what they believe is needed for the next mayor.
And coming up at 6, I will ask Mayor Jackson about crime and violence in Cleveland during his time in office, his advice for his successor, and if he has enjoyed the job of being mayor of Cleveland. By the way, you can see the entire interview at WKYC.com. He looked rather relieved in some ways today, Jay.
Yeah, you could almost sense that there was a weight off his shoulder. I'm sure the decision to run or not has been weighing heavily on him. And now he knows perhaps down the road he may decide to endorse one of those running to be his replacement. Russ, thanks, and we look forward to seeing more of this interview coming up at 6 o'clock.
See ya.
Also on What Matters Most at 6, we're going to take a look at the current state of the Cleveland mayoral race with the potential candidates and their campaigns.
Also in politics, late this afternoon, the Ohio Republican Party called on Ohio Representative Anthony Gonzalez to resign in the wake of his vote to impeach former President Donald Trump back in February. Gonzalez, who is the Republican congressman from Rocky River, is also among 10 U.S. representatives the Ohio GOP Central Committee voted to censure. That's a condemnation over the impeachment. The Avon Lake native has stood by his decision to vote for impeaching the president following the attack on the U.S. Capitol. 2 other representatives have been admonished by their state GOPs as well.
The bill would allow casinos and racinos to take in-person bets and to partner with mobile betting services through which most wagers are expected to be placed. The state will cap the number of licenses, which will cost $1 million each, the state also taking 10% of each bet placed, the money going largely to the state education budget. Big gaming companies that run casinos and racinos in Ohio wanted to control all of sports wagering. But the bill would allow a limited number of other businesses, providing they have $1 million and meet certain requirements to get in on the action. Small bars, taverns, bowling centers, and convenience stores will only get a small piece through the Ohio Lottery Commission. Wagers will be capped at $20 and restricted to simple bets, like on the outcome of a Browns-Steelers game.
We've kind of given away another state-sponsored monopoly to out-of-state interest. When you look at 3 out of the 4 casinos are owned by out-of-state interests at this point. The other big winner are these online betting services like DraftKings and FanDuel that are based in places like Park Avenue.
Greg Beswick, who represents small retailers, argues the state lottery should have a bigger piece because it keeps money local.
Good examples of states, lotteries that have run sports books, why you would just allow so much revenue to leave the state and not have it come back and help Ohioans, if it's small business owners, if it's the tax base, any of those things. It's hard to understand.
Other provisions in the bill include allowing veteran organizations to offer electronic bingo, and betting on college games is legal, but not on high school sports. Mark Namick, 3 News.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Now, speaking of betting, Vegas odds makers think that the Cleveland Indians could rename themselves the Spiders. As recently as December, the betonline.ag website listed Spiders as the heavy 2-1 favorite for the new name of the team. Just this past week, 3 News polled our viewers. Spiders was the leading candidate, almost 28% of the vote. Rockers are second with 22.5%, and the Guardians is actually in third. They garnished 20%, almost 20%, 19.8%. The other names fans like are the Cleveland Baseball Club. We heard that. That's kind of, you may remember the Washington Redskins dropped their name Redskins. Now they're the Washington Football Club. Generic, but it's oddly caught on, especially in the Washington area. And a couple of other names, Bets, that get a lot of traction on my Twitter feed. The Buckeyes and the Municipals. That, of course, homage to the former municipal stadium, which housed the Indians for more than 60 years on the lakefront. We do want to remind our viewers that these are not necessarily the final options. These are just names that have been getting a lot of traction online. What they actually come up with, that's anybody's guess right now.
I know a lot of people who are saying they don't want the spiders because they just can't deal with spiders.
My wife is among them.
And they don't want Spider-Man showing up at games. That was another comment that I saw that I kind of chuckled at. I was all in the spiders camp at first. And then the more I thought about it, the Guardians. I think that's so cool. There's a lot that you could do with that. And of course, it's the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge that we've got the Guardians statues there. It's so beautiful. It's iconic to Cleveland. So you spin that up and I think it's good. The Rockers, kind of been there, done that. Remember our WNBA team we had at one time. So, you know, there's just a few kind of, I don't know. I think you either strike into new territory or you just don't.
We'll see. I mean, I don't think that the fans are ultimately going to decide it. I think it'll be somebody with the Indians that's going to make the final call, and we'll all live with it.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. And we wait and watch, certainly. Well, next on What's New, if you still have a need to find a gift for Mother's Day, we have you covered. We're going to take you to 3 locally owned shops across Northeast Ohio to help find the best gift before time runs out.
Plus, Grey's Anatomy fans, prepare to say goodbye to Dr. Jackson. We're going to tell you why he's leaving the show after 12 years. That's ahead in your Pup Rate. And Betsy's pulling double duty today.
Yeah.
How's that Mother's Day weekend forecast looking? Any better than what we thought yesterday?
No.
Darn it.
Yeah, no, not yet.
I thought I'd try.
But I mentioned at the top of the newscast here that sun is out, but the clouds are to the west, and we do have the rain that is moving in. So if you are going out, I think a lot of it just depends on when. If you go out now, obviously you could probably still sit outside a little bit, but later on as the evening wears on, we're probably going to be moving inside. That's not, though, where the forecast ends. Of course, I'll have details on the weekend, and next week, which is starting to warm up, coming up. Oh, it's Fashion Friday here on What's New. And in case you forgot, Mother's Day is on Sunday. Now, there's tons of fashionable mamas out there, and if you still need to get her a gift or any other special lady in your life, well, don't fret.
Yeah, Hallie Abrams is the wardrobe consultant. She's going to show us now where we can shop locally to find the perfect gift before time runs out.
I've got you covered. I went all around Cleveland and found some great gifts that mom is going to love. Things that you can get both east side and west side in a timely manner. Little different this time. I'm having you guys join me. Instead of bringing it here, I'm having you come along and we're going to go shopping together in the stores and find some great Mother's Day gifts.
Okay, so the first stop on the I'm looking for a Mother's Day gift tour is Knuth's. So Knuth has an east side location in Pepper Pike and a west side location in Westlake. When I think about what to get moms for Mother's Day, I think about something that she's gonna like and use, and maybe that you already know she has, but she could never have enough. What comes to mind is a jean jacket. Everything is better with a jean jacket. And this jean jacket is amazing. It's new. I've never seen anything like this before. It looks like a great jean jacket, but it feels like a shirt. So if you get hot or cold, it's super easy. It's not stiff like most jean jackets. The blue is $89 and the white is $98. So that is a great thing, and they're stocked in those in both stores. Okay, the next thing that all moms use and can never have enough of is a great bag. So I love for summer adding in a bag that's either a fabric or a raffia because it really feels like it's great for spring and summer. And this year especially adding in something that has a little color. You can use it as a beach bag, you can use it as a diaper bag, and this one is $144. I found this one, which is also equally fabulous, and I think it is $48. It's so cute. It also, if you're not into the bright colors, it comes in more neutral shades as well, but I think this one's fabulous.
Blossom Cleveland has an east side location in Shaker, a west side location in Lakewood, and you know what? They have a flower bar. You can come in, this is your shopping cart, pick whatever flowers you want. They will help make it into a beautiful arrangement. And you can buy a vase if you want, or you can just give it to your mom wrapped. It is so much better than grocery store flowers. I cannot even tell you.
Okay, my next stop on the magical, mystical Mother's Day gift tour is Hedges in Chagrin Falls. For entertaining moms, and especially because I think we're all gonna be spending a lot of time still at home entertaining outdoors, the idea of doing a board is so cool. This is a medium size. I think there's a larger size as well. This one's $94. And how fun is it with the bee that's in there? And then if you want to get this cool book that shows her how to put the boards, plates, and platters together. So I think moms would love this. This is another really cool gift. That Lalia does a lot of different hand creams and bath soaps and whatnot. And this one smells delicious. But on top of it, look at how beautiful the box is. So I don't know, I don't always like wrapping things, so this is a perfect thing. It is already pre-wrapped, ready to go, and your mom is gonna love it. Thanks so much.
That's a bonus for me. I'm not a big wrapper.
No wrapping?
As you might imagine.
That's where gift bags come in handy.
You're right. Those are great ideas, and I think Hallie's great. And I like the fact that she did east side and west side. There's got to be one of those locations near most of our viewers. And if you're still looking for that perfect gift item, one of those might be it, Bets.
That's right. And a lot of moms, matter of fact, 40% of moms, according to Retail Me Not, they just want a nice dinner.
That works.
And not to do the dishes.
What did you say yesterday? Forget the flowers, just give me a nap. Give me time.
I just want a nap, and Sunday looks like it's going to be a great day for napping, so it might be a really good opportunity for everybody. Just remember, COVID-19 is still going on, and I guarantee you that the reservations at your favorite restaurant that has a patio are probably already booked. So you may want to look elsewhere. I bought a big old prime rib for my mom.
Oh, nice.
Coming over, went and picked it up this morning. So that's like the big treat. It's a big treat for me, too.
Well, we made plans for two places, one outdoors, one indoors. We've already canceled the outdoor plans.
Rolling with Jay Crawford.
Well, I mean, it was going to be one or the other.
Right.
And the outdoor just clearly isn't going to happen because I do trust in your forecast.
Somebody else might be able to pick that reservation up now.
Well, they're going to get wet.
I tell you what, we have some rain that is moving in this evening. Temperatures are going to fade down into the 40s. So I know we're sitting pretty right now, but it will be cooling off as the clouds come in. And we will have periodic showers not only tonight, but also into the day tomorrow. There's a look at the radar. All the rain as of right now still west of 71. So it's still to come into northeast Ohio, meaning east of 71. But just a beautiful evening here for the next few hours. The farther east you go, that is the great news. But I did mention that we have the rain. And at times we've even seen some lightning popping in here on the radar. So I want to check on that. You can see the heavier rain out around Sandusky and Huron. You move over toward the Vermilion area. This rain is coming your way. Also down into Milan and Norwalk, and then even farther south into Fitchville, over to New London and portions there of Huron County. And then you move farther east into Lorain County, and you can see these light rain showers coming into Wellington and Lorain and Elyria. And I do want to put a little bit of a track on this, mostly because I think they might be watching over at Progressive Field. If this line is moving at about 35 miles per hour or so, and we track it east, it gives us about 1 hour. So this is about the time they'd probably start to try and get pictures up, and then in advance of this line that's farther to the west. And just because I can, if we track that line farther east, that would put it into Cleveland, well, pretty close to 7 o'clock. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. Now, let's take a look at the bigger picture. We told you about this yesterday. We were going to have these scattered showers coming through in waves. This is wave number 1. We're probably going to have a break and then another round of scattered showers late tonight. But a lot of this is being driven by that sunshine that we had today, and that helped to pop up even those lightning strikes and rumbles of thunder. So your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast through the evening does keep the showers around, and that will continue as we head toward the midnight hour. Southwest winds will become more northwesterly to start the day tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, we may have a few sprinkles lingering. We'll have clouds, but as the day goes on, we're going to get to see some peaks of sunshine in here. So that will certainly be good news, but the damage has already been done. The cool air is already here. And yet again, we're going to be considerably below normal for the afternoon. As a matter of fact, 54 the anticipated high for Cleveland. Mother's Day and your Union Home Mortgage forecast in the low 50s. That rain moving in. We'll take a look at Mother's Day coming up in the next half hour. But then the temperatures start to take off. Things do get better after that. And we'll have to dodge a few rain showers since, you know, it is still spring. More of what's new coming up.
It is time for your Friday Pop Break. One doctor on Grey's Anatomy is leaving the program after 12 seasons. We have Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's message on vaccines shared on Archie's birthday, and it is a big weekend on Saturday Night Live. Kara Cotton has all the details in your Friday Pop Break.
After 12 seasons, Dr. Jackson's time on Grey's Anatomy has flatlined. Played by actor Jesse Williams, the news of Dr. Jackson's departure from the show comes on the heels of his on-screen reunion with love interest Dr. April Kepner, played by Sarah Drew. In a statement to People magazine, Williams wrote, "As an actor, director, and person, I have been obscenely lucky to learn so much from so many, and I thank our beautiful fans who breathe so much energy and appreciation into our shared worlds." Jackson will appear in his final episode titled Tradition on May 20th. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's baby boy is already 2 years old. The Duke and Duchess celebrated baby Archie's big day yesterday with a call to action regarding vaccine equity and a never-before-seen picture of him on their foundation's website. With Archie standing with his back to the camera looking up at a cluster of balloons, the couple wrote, "We will not be able to truly recover until everyone everywhere has equal access to the vaccine. And with that intention, we are inviting you to contribute whatever you can to bring vaccines to families in the world's most vulnerable places." Several organizations have partnered with Meghan and Harry to match each $5 donation to $20.
No telling what I might do.
Looks like SNL fans may be in for a show with Tesla CEO Elon Musk as the host this weekend. The late-night sketch comedy show announced last month that Musk would be hosting, and it was met with mixed reactions. Some on social media are calling Musk the most controversial host since former President Donald Trump's appearance on the show in 2016. Musk will be joined by musical guest Miley Cyrus, but since it's a day ahead of Mother's Day, hopefully the two will be on their best behavior.
Fine, we'll be good-ish.
Grey's Anatomy has been full of surprises all season long, and it's leaving many fans speculating whether or not the end is near. Jay?
Yeah, they've done that before on this program, but I believe next year will be its 75th season, which is really quite a run. That show's been, it seems like it's been on my entire life. Kiara, thanks.
Yeah, it started back in 2005.
That's incredible. I mean, in today's world, for a TV show to be on that long, that's unheard of. Kiara, thanks. Have a great weekend.
Well, today's Worth the Watch goes hand in hand with Teachers Week, and one music teacher recorded a song with her ukulele. And let's just say, she has some feelings to express about this past year and how online learning has been. This is hilarious. I absolutely love this video. That's Liz. She posted the video last April, but it's making more rounds on social media now. Obviously so cute. Starts off so nice.
You think something profound is coming?
Oh, I know.
You know, great lyrics, dreams.
It's how all of us truly feel, right?
Yeah,
We're on the outside, everything is just so great and all that.
I don't know that a song has ever completely captured the emotion of an event.
The loop is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it works better when we just edit it back and forth.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the way most of us feel.
Okay, let's stop that because it's starting to get annoying.
All right. Ahead in the next half hour of What's New, we're talking summer vacation, but a word of caution here. Don't be surprised when you start planning that you notice everything is more expensive. We're going to tell you why.
Plus, there's some rumors circulating around Cedar Point and one of its historic roller coasters. What the park says about the speculation on removing it, that's ahead in Clicking on Cleveland.
Okay. And Cleveland's Lakefront property. We saw during the draft how lively it could be. Ahead, Mike Polk Jr. has some ideas on what new life could be brought to the CLA Lakefront permanently.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Welcome back to What's New. Let's get you caught up to date on the three biggest stories of the day. We start with the U.S. job growth. It has really slowed down, and that shocked many economists. The unemployment rate actually rose in April from 6% in March up to 6.1%. The key factors are fear of catching COVID, people found other jobs, child care issues, and some say the unemployment benefits have workers avoiding returning to work because they can actually make more money by not working.
And Pfizer and BioNTech are asking the FDA for full approval of their COVID vaccine. The companies were granted emergency use authorization in December for adults 16 years and older. However, 6 months of data is required for a biologics license application, which is needed for full approval. The companies plan to submit their data in the coming weeks. If granted, it'd be the first vaccine to be fully approved in the U.S.
And here are your daily COVID numbers. Ohio reporting 1,397 new cases. And just to show you how consistent that number has been, that's just 10 more than our cases from yesterday, but it is 4 cases below our rolling 14-day average, which is now at 1,401 new daily cases. Cases per 100,000 down again to 134. That's the lowest we've been since our first spike in cases. The Ohio gave the first vaccine shot to another 19,000 residents yesterday, and that pushes our total up to 4.8 million Ohioans that have had that first shot. That also accounts for 41.11% of our state's total population.
Well, on that news, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. Happy Friday. I am Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
More bonus sunshine today, right, Bets?
Yeah,
that's
it was
a good
nice.
thing.
Yeah.
Very good thing. Looked out there, saw sunshine throughout the day. Coming up in about 20 minutes, Betsy, this is going to be a great story. It has long been a very hot topic in Cleveland. Why does our lakefront look so bare, particularly when you compare it to, say, Chicago's? Well, Mike Polk Jr. is going to give his take on what should be done with that space, Cleveland's lakefront, especially on the heels of the NFL draft, Betsy, when it was so vibrant.
Yeah, we had a lot of folks downtown walking around enjoying our lakefront spaces, but Mike's spin is always an interesting one, so we'll see where he takes it. Of course, travel is top of mind if you aren't going to be sticking around here, and that's today's top talker, summer travel. With more people getting vaccinated and COVID restrictions easing, Americans are eager to get out. Nearly 3/4 of Americans say they are planning a summer trip, but you do need to be aware of travel-related fees. Ah, yes, the fine print. There are now fees to enter countries. Some are requiring health insurance, COVID testing, and all of those costs can add up quickly. And remember when airlines ditched the change fees during the pandemic? Yeah, those are coming back, especially the lower fare flights. One expert suggests using the points or miles that you may have earned on your credit card.
When you want to change or cancel a frequent flyer mile ticket, you can now do that in most programs and get all of your miles and cash back.
So the bottom line is do your research on your flight, your hotel, even restaurants nearby to see what extra costs you may have to incur. Jay, another suggestion is for travelers to ask for a refund on the hotel resort fee if not all the perks like the gym are open, which I think is pretty interesting. Some of those daily resort fees are banana, so that could be a way to save a little bit of change.
Yeah, you know, the cost is always going up of everything, but it was the one thing that the pandemic gave us was that cost relief on travel, even though most of us couldn't do it, and particularly those change fees. You knew it'd be a matter of time before those came back, and we're there.
Well, now that everybody gets out and they want to travel, the prices are going back up.
Sure, supply and demand.
Get everything listed out.
Yeah, Betsy, the Cleveland Browns first-round draft pick, you'll remember, Greg Newsome II, unveiled what we believe will be his jersey number when he plays for the Cleveland Browns. He posted a Photoshop picture of him wearing a Browns jersey with the number 20 on it. The caption read G20. In case you're wondering, he wore number 29 and number 2 during his college days at Northwestern. And Betsy, most athletes are wildly superstitious. We all have our favorite numbers. And if that number isn't on your back, you just don't feel right. Now, I'm not sure that 20 was his first choice. A lot of times when you're a rookie and you come in, you take what's available, and that was number 20. I hope that number makes him feel good inside when he takes the field, because it does make a difference. It really does.
Who else has worn number 20?
You know, I was thinking about that today, and the only name I could come up with was Don Rodgers. He, of course, was the defensive back that played back in the 80s, I want to say, and he was a fabulous rookie. But what was unfortunate about him was he had a very untimely passing. After one season, he was an all-pro as a rookie. He was a terrific player. But I was thinking, and I don't know that we've had many number 20s since then. I'm sure the viewers will tweet to me who wore number 20. But there you go. He will wear number 20, and I'm sure people will be buying that jersey.
Mr. Newsom will make that number stand out.
He'll make it his. He will. Coming up on What's New, there are rumors that Cedar Point may be nixing a popular ride. Leaders are going to set the record straight. They'll do it ahead in Clicking in Cleveland.
And then Mike Polk Jr. gives his thoughts about what should be done with Cleveland's Lakefront. And, of course, the weather plays a big role in everything, doesn't it? Look out to the west, everybody. You're looking due west now from our CSU cam. We've got sun peaks, but those clouds are getting closer. The rain showers aren't far away. We're going to track everything for you, take you through Mother's Day, hour by hour, straight ahead.
And our final bakery feature for Save Our Sauce is a classic. It's a Channel 3 favorite. Larder bakes up glossy, braided challah, slightly sour rye. Don't forget their sweets like black and white cookies, chocolate babka, and fruit-filled rugelach. Stop in before it's too late and you're running out of time. Mother's Day, just a couple of days away. And if you're looking for a list of other great bakeries in our area, Doug Tratner has them for you. He's got a complete guide up on WKYC.com/Save Our Sauce. We will be right back.
Alrighty, everybody. We have the rain that is moving in from west to east. You can see the clouds out to the west. This is, of course, the CSU cam, and as we swing it just a little farther north, they're getting the field prep there at Progressive Field. But you can kind of see how things look a little bit foggy in the distance. That's where the rain is. We can see a fur poke on the CSU cam, so we are looking your way, Lorain County, and that's where that rain is. We're starting to see the clouds obscure the sun at this point. Those clouds going to continue to increase farther east. Temperatures trending down as we get into the overnight, but you can see the rain really starts to pick up. So it's just scattered rain at this point. Look at the radar right now. We're seeing that leading edge, those first few showers starting to fade a little bit. We actually do have some dry air in place, but out to the west, you can see now we're starting to pick up some lightning. Okay, so once we get the lightning in play, that kind of changes things a little bit. That's a sign that we've got some oomph in some of these thunderstorms. So you can see the lightning right now as it's coming into portions right around Huron, and then you move farther east into Vermilion, down through Milan and Norwalk, getting in on some of that. Wakeman, heads up, this is coming to you. And then farther east, Amherst, Oberlin, Lorain, Elyria. This is not a severe thunderstorm, but it definitely is a good downpour. And as I mentioned, we do have the lightning. Just got this. This is Shack on the Lake is the Twitter handle, but this literally just popped into my Twitter feed. And that's some small hail that they picked up out there in Berlin. So Berlin Heights, you can see that out there in portions of Erie County. So just little pea-sized hail, lightning, often an indicator that we have hail, and we saw that lightning surge there, so that's a sign that there's a little bit of upgrowth. So that is our strongest part of the thunderstorms right now, and then we have that heavy rain that goes down into Richland and Ashland County too. We're going to swing it out to the big picture, show you a couple different things. Okay, first of all of the rain showers, the clouds that we have here in the Great Lakes region is going northwest to southeast. Meanwhile, all of this is coming southwest to northeast, so that's a little bit of a pattern change, right? Well, the reason that is important is because that's where all the warm air is right now, and we can't get the warm air in here until the cold air gets out of here, and it looks like we have a couple more days of the cool air before things will finally begin to change. Here's your National Designer hour-by-hour forecast. We still have scattered showers, maybe rumbles of thunder as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures in the mid-40s by midnight. We will have a few breaks, so it's not a complete washout tonight. And tomorrow morning, we will start with clouds, maybe some sprinkles, especially east. But as the day goes on, I think we get to see some sunshine. We may have a few afternoon pop-up showers south of Canton, but I think otherwise we have a dry day coming tomorrow. We will see some sunshine. We will have some clouds around, but by and large, it's not until Saturday night we get more clouds coming in, and then by Sunday morning, it's the rain all day long, pretty much. Union Home Mortgage forecast, there's Mother's Day rain, temperatures in the low 50s, then that pattern change begins to take place. We'll get that swing from the southwest. That's going to help to warm us up. It's also going to help to dry us out, Jay.
All right, very good. Thank you, Bets. Well, right now it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Stephanie, a very good Friday afternoon to you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jay. Good Friday. And the entertainment just keeps coming back. The band 9 Inch Nails will be right where it belongs this September in Cleveland. Just like you imagine, they're putting on 2 shows at Jacobs Pavilion at Nautica on September 21st and 23rd. They'll be down in it in the Flats with Pixies opening both shows. Fans can show them all the love in the world by grabbing tickets starting next Friday, May 14th. That's closer than you think, so put it on your calendar now. ESPN analyst Eduardo Perez thinks the Tribe should make a move on free agent first baseman Albert Pujols. Just released from the Los Angeles Angels yesterday, he's expected to retire this year at age 41. But Perez says he's a no-risk upgrade to Jake Bauers and Yu Chang for Cleveland. Pujols' average is higher than both of theirs, and he's hit more home runs and RBIs than both of them combined. Plus, he's budget-friendly at the prorated veteran minimum salary. We know that's important. We'll keep you posted on whether anything materializes there. And people are asking again, is Cedar Point getting rid of the Wicked Twister roller coaster? This is thanks to tweets from spokesperson Tony Clark this week. First, he posted a video of the ride and said, "Weekends are wicked. They all have to end sometime." Then, kind of teasing park lovers, he wrote that he saw it testing on May 4th, and what could that mean? Now, after that, on Wednesday, he tweeted the ride's exit sign and wrote, "My day is now done, but I return tomorrow for more fun and games." Now, we went straight to the source, of course, and had to ask, is the ride staying or is it going? Jay and Betsy, and Clark said, The park doesn't comment on speculation, but they are very good at whipping up that speculation.
They are. They waft little hints here and there. But you know what? It works because it creates buzz, and we're talking about it, so it works.
And I love the Wicked Twister. I love it. I love it. It has a little bit of a weather connotation to it, but I absolutely love when you come back down and it kicks you and that magnetic acceleration
it does give
goes.
You a thrill that no other ride there does.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good. All right, Steph, have a great weekend. Thank you. Coming up next on What's New, Mike Polk Jr. shares his take on the empty lakefront in Cleveland and what it could be.
Then one little boy went on a spending spree. He got into his mom's Amazon account. But ahead in our show is something good. We're going to show you how people are coming together to help and the good cause that the money is going toward.
And don't forget, all next week, Cleveland will be featured on the Today Show's Reopening America series. We are honored and thrilled to have that happen. From the businesses helping fuel the reopening to the new restaurant that's putting Ohioans back on their feet. You can catch Al Roker on Go all week next week at 6 a.m., followed by Today at 7.
Well, thanks in part to the incredible show put on by the NFL Draft last week, there's been a lot of talk about Cleveland's lakefront and the possibilities for development there.
Please, right? Our Mike Polk Jr. has some thoughts on why we have not been able to use this incredible real estate to its full potential.
Well, the weather was obviously trash, but overall, I think the city looked great when the NFL Draft came to town last week, when the entire sports world was looking at Cleveland. Honestly, everyone involved deserves to be applauded for pulling off a really impressive event under far from ideal circumstances. Despite the rain and pandemic restrictions, people showed up in droves down here. And just a reminder, they didn't come here to watch an actual NFL sporting event. They came down to watch people go on stage and say the names of college students who would eventually play in NFL sporting events. That's how badly people needed to get out. And boy, the place sure looked great, didn't it? Which begs the question, why aren't we using this lakefront area in such a manner more often? It's a debate that's been raging in the city for decades now. One of Cleveland's most obvious assets is its beautiful lakefront, but darned if we figured out a way to properly utilize it. After all of our years of hemming and hawing about what to do with that space, there was something vexing about watching the NFL come in here, knock over a couple of old warehouses, and erect an impressive stage so quickly it was like they were setting up a Coleman dining canopy. They made it look so easy. Now, I know that there was clearly a lot of pre-planning that went into that, but can we acknowledge that what this really did was prove that utilizing our lakefront properly simply doesn't need to be as difficult as everyone has been making it seem? Enough meetings, everybody. Enough speculating. Turns out that that area works. Let's keep this momentum going and get some real development going down there. As for what should go in that specific spot, I don't know, but clearly something. Let's try some stuff out. Let's move the free stamp over there to give it a change of scenery, then put a bunch of food trucks around it. That'd be some real young person, Instagram-loving hipster bait. Or how about putting a cool outdoor farmer's market there on weekends? The ladies love that stuff. After that, how about a boxing ring? How cool would it be to watch someone getting beat up with a barge going by in the background? When we get sick of that, let's throw that giant Ferris wheel from the now defunct IX Indoor Amusement Park up there. They're not using it. Or, and this isn't as adventurous as those other suggestions, but how about we just put a permanent stage there? I know it seems a bit obvious, but wouldn't it be convenient to have a nice-sized outdoor venue like that on the lakefront directly behind the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I'm no city planner, but I could see that coming in logistically handy. Regardless of what we do with it, what last weekend proved to me was that if we have the right plan and the right motivation, we can make the most of our lakefront. So whether we just turn this spot into green space for people to enjoy, or the city decides to go with my proposal and build the world's first 3-story Red Lobster right there, one thing is for sure, it's time for Cleveland's shoreline to finally shine. This is Mike Polk, dreaming of Cheddar Bay biscuits for 3 News.
Only Polk.
Mike Polk for mayor.
Oh.
Mike Polk for mayor.
You know, that actually brings up a pretty good topic, because when Mayor Frank Jackson is done and there is a new administration in, that very well could change the dynamic of how economic policies are put together for the city of Cleveland, the lakefront development. There's a lot that could be changing.
Oh, I have maintained for at least 2 decades that one day it's going to happen. And once it does, it's going to be so wonderful, whether it's residential, commercial, a mix of both, which it likely will be. People will go down there and they'll say to their kids who won't believe them, you know, once upon a time, this was just a big parking lot. That's what we thought was the best thing to do with this big piece of beautiful land sitting on a great lake. Well, and go to Chicago and you just start to think of all the possibilities that our great city has with this natural resource right here in our front yard.
We do have lakefront opportunities. We have Edgewater Park.
Yeah, there are things to do.
Gorgeous. And when the Metro Parks took that over, it revitalized it, changed everything, and now people use it all the time. That's a really good opportunity. We also have Voinovich Park, which is right on the lakefront, and they tried to build some, apartments there. It's kind of cut off. I think that's the one thing that the lakefront doesn't offer. I know we say, oh, let's make a parking lot of it. We actually could use the parking there, so we would need to figure out a little bit of like where folks would park in order to use all this stuff. But man, we got to do something other than just use it 8 times a year when the Browns are in town.
To park cars. It's just too beautiful of a space and has so much possibility. Okay, this kid is a smart one. How many popsicles he managed to order without his mom even knowing, and what the community did to help her pay the bill. It's a great story.
Then on What Matters Most at 6, a mother speaks out on her son's death caused by hazing at an Ohio university. Monica Robbins, the proposal of Collins Law to help prevent more incidents like this happening on and off college campuses.
And let's wrap up this Friday with a pop quiz question, shall we? How many state flags in the United States are not rectangular? 1, 5, or 13? Think about that. The answer when we come back. Before the break, we asked how many state flags in the United States are not rectangular. And the answer is just one. And of course, it is ours. The Ohio state flag. According to Reader's Digest, its shape is called a burgie, which I did not know.
And now you know.
And now you know.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, you know, kids are so tech savvy these days. There's a 4-year-old boy in New York who bought $2,600 worth of SpongeBob popsicles on his mom's Amazon account without her even knowing. Noah sent them to his aunt's house. The kid is brilliant.
Sneaky.
In case you were wondering, she got 918 popsicles and there was a no return policy. And Noah's mom is going to school. She has 2 other boys and can't afford to pay for all the popsicles. A classmate of hers decided to create a GoFundMe account. It raised $11,000. So his mom released a statement saying, okay, we've covered the bill and the extra money will be going toward his education and support his autism diagnosis. And we've just learned that Amazon got in touch with the family and is going to donate items off of a wish list to a charity of their choice for the total cost.
Oh my God. What a great story all the way around. Now, I'm guessing it was so pricey because their popsicles, they had to be shipped with frozen ice. That's not cheap.
Because it's 50 cases of popsicles.
The dry ice. The dry ice, I mean. That stuff's expensive.
Yeah, 50 cases of it.
Wow. Well, it's a great story all the way around. All's well that ends well. And speaking of ends, that's the end of our show and another week of What's New. But we're back Monday at 5, and we give you an invitation to join us then.
Please do. What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, falling short. The U.S. economy added way fewer jobs than predicted, shocking economists. What this means for Ohioans and what could happen next. Also, going one-on-one with Mayor Jackson.
If you come into this game and using the position of mayor as a stepping stone, then you're going to fail.
His views on the crime rate in the city and his advice for his successor. Plus, campaigning in Cleveland. We'll take a look at the crowded race for Mayor Jackson's job and who the frontrunners are to replace him. And hazing consequences.
Right now in Ohio, hazing is a 4th-degree misdemeanor, which is the equivalent of not paying your parking ticket.
There is a push for more punishment for kids who haze. A look at the law that could make it a felony in Ohio.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. I'm Russ Mitchell. Laura is on assignment tonight. We begin with news on the economy and a warning sign from a new jobs report. It shows 266,000 jobs were created across the country last month, falling short of the growth most economists expected. Unemployment nationwide has gone up as businesses struggle to find workers. This news is bringing a lot of questions tonight, including what happened and what can be done to fix this. Our January Keaton takes a look.
It's like the workforce evaporated.
What a letdown April was for payrolls. The national unemployment rate rose and a shortage of workers meant fewer job seekers.
The generous benefits package, unemployment insurance, the extended increase may make it possible or, give some people incentives to stay home from work or not apply for jobs at the same rate.
Case Western economist Daniel Shoag says that incentive needs to be revamped, particularly for minimum wage earners who may be making more money on unemployment than they do in their job.
Maybe rethinking the way we do that unemployment insurance could be a useful tool to help the numbers pick up over the summer.
Some states are considering taking unemployment benefits and repurposing them as sort of a bonus for getting a job. But the unemployment relief isn't the only problem.
The economy is in this weird spot where, many schools are still closed. Parents don't have childcare.
Parents, namely moms, reluctant to go back to work because they don't want to put their unvaccinated children in daycare.
As things reopen, as it becomes safer, as the vaccine gets approved for younger people, we'll probably see that winding down.
So yes, April's unemployment numbers are bad.
It's never been this hard to hire, and it's been such a surprise to us.
But the numbers shouldn't stay that way.
As the pandemic winds down, as schools and childcare camps begin to open, and as the vaccine is more widely distributed, we need to make sure that the system we put in place to weather the pandemic becomes a system that we can use to recover, to bring about the jobs recovery, as opposed to keeping people out of work.
Now, Shoaib said the problem is not folks being lazy and wanting to collect free money. It's COVID and all of the reluctance, uncertainty, and trepidation that comes with it. When everyone's confidence increases, people will feel more comfortable getting back to work. Russ?
All right, January Keaton, thank you. You saw it here last night. Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson announcing after 16 years in office, he will not run for a record 5th term. I spoke with Mayor Jackson this morning. He cited his successes over the years, including school reform and balancing the budget through rocky times. I asked him if he saw